Hello and welcome. Have you ever stopped to think about what makes an experience truly special? What separates a good event from one that genuinely makes you feel like you belong? Well, today we are going to break down a really powerful, practical blueprint for creating those meaningful human connections. It works anywhere, a library, a workshop, you name it.
This right here, this is our North Star. It's the core promise that this entire framework is built to deliver on. See, it's not just about, providing a service. It's about engineering an actual transformation from the second someone walks in to the moment they leave. It sounds ambitious, I know, but as we're going to see, it's totally achievable.
And here's the kicker. The whole thing really hinges on that initial interaction. Seriously, those first 5 minutes, they set the tone for everything that follows. If you get this right, you've laid the perfect foundation for creating a real sense of belonging. But if you get it wrong, well, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle the entire time.
Which brings us right to our first section, the art of the welcome. This is all about moving beyond just a passive hello. It's about transforming a simple arrival into this powerful feeling of being seen and, frankly, being expected.
So before we can even welcome someone, we have to think about who they are. What might they be feeling? Is it a brand new resident, feeling maybe a little lost in a new town? A parent who's just looking for a moment of adult conversation? Or maybe it's a job seeker, just full of nerves? Or a senior who might not have had much social contact all week? They're not just an attendee, right? They're a person with all their own hopes and anxieties.
So how do we meet them where they are? Well, it really just boils down to a simple two-step process. Step 1 is the proactive greeting. This is not about waiting behind a desk for them to come to you. Nope. It's stepping forward with a real smile and asking, "Hey, are you here for the program?" before they even have a chance to look around confused. Then comes step 2, the hosted entry. Instead of just pointing to a sign-in sheet, you personally welcome them into the space, make eye contact, and show them where to go. It's a game changer.
And the whole purpose of all this, it's beautifully simple. Make them feel seen. That's it. It's about acknowledging their presence as an individual. And in that one moment, just shattering that wall of anxiety that so many of us feel walking into a new place.
Okay, so once that welcome is locked in, our focus shifts from the doorway to the room itself. And this brings us to the real core of the experience, fostering what's known as a third space, which is where we create the environment for genuine connection to actually happen.
So, what in the world is a third space? Well, the term refers to those really crucial places in our lives that aren't home, that's our first space, or work, our second space. Think of your favorite coffee shop, a park, maybe a community center. In a world that can feel pretty isolating sometimes, creating these spaces is more important than ever. Our goal here is to consciously build that exact kind of environment, a community, not just a classroom.
Now check this out, because this is where it gets really interesting. This whole third space idea is built on 2 key pillars. On one side, you've got belonging. That's about the group. It's creating a feeling that, hey, it's safe to participate here. But on the other side, you have being valued, and that's deeply personal. That's the feeling that my presence as an individual actually matters here. And you absolutely need both. Encouraging group questions builds belonging, but remembering someone's name, that makes them feel valued.
So what are the actual moves? Here are some practical ways to bring this to life. First, we use our own names. We gently encourage, but never force introductions. We make a point to actively listen when people share their questions or their stories. And, this one's huge, when we see someone struggling, we go to them one-on-one to help. Every single one of these actions reinforces both that group safety and that individual importance.
All right, so they feel welcomed, they feel like they belong. The next piece of this puzzle is making sure they leave with a tangible sense of accomplishment. This is all about engineering the aha moment.
So how do you do it? How can you guarantee that every single person, no matter their skill level, walks away feeling like, wow, I did something? Well, the key is to realize that accomplishment isn't an accident. It's a deliberate part of the design.
See, our job as facilitators is to basically create the conditions for success. First, we design the program to be hands-on, with clear, achievable wins baked right in. Second, we give them all the tools and guidance they need so nobody gets left behind. And third, we celebrate their work, their effort, and their aha moments, no matter how big or small. We give them the tools, they do the work, and man, that feeling of pride is all theirs.
And these moments can look so different, right? It could be a little kid just beaming as they hold up a craft they just made. Or it could be an adult who finally gets that tricky Excel function that's been bugging them for weeks. Or maybe a new writer who shares a single powerful paragraph they never thought they could write. The scale doesn't matter at all. That feeling of pride is what counts.
Okay, so we've welcomed them, we've helped them connect, we've celebrated their achievements. But the journey isn't quite over yet. The final, crucial phase is about crafting a lasting impression, because how a person leaves is every bit as important as how they arrive.
It is so easy to think our job is done when the presentation is over. The slides are off, people are packing up, but right then, in those moments, they are cementing how they feel about the entire experience. This is our last, best chance to reinforce everything we've built.
And the art of the farewell is simple, but it is so profound. We thank them personally for coming. We ask them, "So, what did you think?" And we actually listen to the answer. And then we end with a warm, genuine, "We really hope to see you again." It just closes the loop perfectly and transforms a one-time event into the start of a real relationship.
And this, right here, illustrates the entire journey so perfectly. Someone walks in simply as a resident, just a person who lives nearby. During the event, they become an active attendee. But if we follow this blueprint, they walk out as something so much more, a community member. They're no longer just a face in the crowd. They're a part of something now.
So, that's the blueprint. From that first proactive hello to the final hope to see you again. Every single step is designed to build connection, which really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Where will you build belonging next?